member All Liberian Party. On behalf of the political leaders, we want to pay homage to these silent men and women who have today brought us a document that will serve as a framework to bring together full, strong, and big political parties in the history of our country. Thank you for paying attention to the overview. The next step in this signing ceremony will be a special statement and the signing ceremony itself by the political leaders. And after that, we have transition of the CPP chairmanship by Honorable Bernard Ure of the ALP to Honorable Alexander B. Cummings of the Alternative National Congress. Then we will have acceptance remarks by Honorable Alexander B. Cummings, vote of thanks by Rugi Barry. That makes up the program today. So at this point in time, the most important part of the program is about to begin with special statements from the political leader. And we will take first standard bearer and political leader of the ALP, who is also the chairman of the collaborating political party, Honorable Benani Wilfred Ure. The floor is all yours. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Moali. Mr. Alexander Cummings, the political leader of the ANC, Ambassador Joseph Nima Boyka, the political leader of Unity Party, Senator Yumli Panga Lawrence, the political leader of Liberty Party, chairman of political parties, officials of political parties, distinguished participants in this Zoom call today, Liberians at home and abroad, all well-wishers of the efforts here today. We bring you greetings from the collaborating political parties. Firstly, I would like to augment what Mo Ali has done by not only calling for a moment of silence for Councillor Charles Walter Brunson, but I'd like to add on to it. I want to add on all members of the collaborating parties who over the years have gone to the great beyond. The dreaded angel of death have taken upon them, and they are here no more. We also want to have a moment of silence in memory of all Liberians that this coronavirus has taken on to the great beyond. We ask that we observe a moment of silence in their memory. Thank you. Fellow Liberians, man is born with his hands clenched. In life, he grasps everything he sees and desires. When he dies, his hands are wide open, leaving all that he has achieved and accomplished. Today, as we are about to sign this document, known as a framework document of political parties, may we all learn from their experiences over the years. I hope we all realize that in unity, there is strength. We must additionally realize that to agree is a positive aspect of every political venture. We must also agree that disagreeing is not a crime. And in democracy, there will always be disagreement. We would like to remind our colleagues of our commitment to Liberia and our commitment to the Liberian people. On the onset of our collaboration, we committed ourselves to serving our people. And it's a good thought that has led us to where we are today. I would like to briefly discuss how the CPP got started and how it all materialized. By Kofi Woods, the role played by Ambassador Joseph Boyka, and the role played by Alexander Cummings. Has been fulfilled. We are extremely pleased. I can remember a little over a year ago when we gathered together at the home of Councillor Bronskin. It was Councillor Bronskin, Attorney Kofi Woods, and I. And I asked Kofi Woods to have joined us because I've known him over the years and I knew what he was capable of. And he went and he got to Councillor Brunson's home approximately an hour before me. And he had extremely good deliberations with Councillor Brunson. Upon going there, we were convinced that we could change the political landscape in Liberia. And we convinced Councillor Brunson of the importance of us getting together and the impact it will have on Liberia. And I must admit, it was at that meeting that I realized how nationalistic and patriotic Councillor Brunson was. And he told me he would do anything to save Liberia and help his people. We commissioned Attorney Kofi Woods to go and meet others. And let's see how we can put this thought into reality. Attorney Kofi Woods spent numerous amount of hours trying to get very difficult minds together. When we approached Alexander Cummings, of course, he was very warm and accepting, and he accepted the whole idea, and it appeared as if this was what he was waiting for. We all got married to this idea. We went to Ambassador Joseph Boyka, and in fact, he lectured us more about what we were thinking than we could tell him. And I can remember clearly him stating, this is the only way forward. We must put Liberia first. These three leaders were committed to what we are accomplishing here today. We sat at the office of Ambassador Boyka, and we appointed people to go and start implementing what we are signing here today. And the process started that day. We're pleased today that we are where we are today. There have been many naysayers, but it's a difficult thing to get 4 people who had different political ambition, who had people backing them that wants power at every cost, to get them together, to agree, and to fight for the Liberian people. Fortunately for me, as chairman, and I must indicate here my thanks and appreciation to Councillor Brunson, because he nominated me to head this body. And I was given a mandate to come up with a framework document. And it has been a difficult task, my people. But with the cooperation of the 4 political leaders during the process, we experienced the demise of Councillor Brunson. That was by far the greatest blow we had in this whole process. Ambassador Joe Boyka, he was always there with his wisdom and his kind advice and his willingness to always answer when he's called upon. Mr. Alexander Cummings was an integral part of everything we did. And I must say here today, in all candor, that Mr. Cummings exhibited some leadership and we have problems. He made himself always available. And he was always willing to accept a change and to move this process forward. This has not been easy. I know my experience with my supporters, so I can imagine what they went through. But I want to use this occasion to remind all of us that we have an obligation to the Liberian people. We must ensure that the will of the Liberian people prevails, and that will supersedes our personal ambition. Because if the will of the Liberian people is not adhered to, we would not have a country to run for the presidency of. The framework document. I want to remind all of us that this document is a living document. Nothing in it is cast in stone. This document, I believe, will move from imperfection to perfection. Once we have agreement amongst four of us, we will certainly make the changes or make the corrections to ensure that the aspiration of all political parties are taken into consideration in this document. This document, I want to remind our political leaders that we are the first full political parties. We must be inclusive. We must get all other political parties on board. We must leave individual desires and political gains aside. And we must think about the good of our people. I want to speak on my dream of one party. Fundamentally, I don't believe there's any difference between the ANC, the Liberty Party, the Unity Party, and the ALP. Our only problem is our political ambition. We must lay our political ambition aside and think about the suffering of our people. We must listen to the will of the Liberian people. In conclusion, my special thanks and appreciation goes to the drafting committee. They did a wonderful job. It was tedious. At times it got abusive, but it was not only the writing of the document, but it was the attitude of everybody and the temperament and all of that. The leadership, Councillor Gould and the rest of them, they did an extremely good job. Our hats off to them. And we want to really appreciate what they have done for the people of Liberia. I also want to thank the Liberian people, and I want to admonish them that they must continue to put pressure on us. Even though we might get upset with the naysayers, but their constant attacks on us did help in the whole process. We want them to, going forward, be a little bit more constructive, as doing what we are doing is an extremely difficult task. And it's incumbent upon every Liberian to ensure that this works. I want to thank my family for being overly tolerant of me during this period. It hasn't been easy, but we have achieved something. This framework document is an instrument that we will use to get Liberia to another stage. My special thanks and appreciation to Kofi Woods. During the most difficult times during this process, I could always call Kofi, and he would advise me as a brother and a friend. And he was always there to go on mission, to try to put up fire, to convince people of what was right. Without him, I doubt we would be here today. My thanks and appreciation goes out to Ellis Cummings. As mentioned previously, it's difficult to find leaders like Mr. Cummings. Why we differ on a lot of things, he always made himself accessible to us. I want to congratulate him and inform him that he will be taking over from me as chairman of the collaborating political party. It's not an easy thing, but he must continue to do what he has done in the past to ensure that this process continues. And to the father of politics among us, our uncle, our doyen. There's so many names we can give him, but and he's none other than we call him VP, we call him Uncle Joe, we call him some of us even go as far as disrespecting him and calling him Joe. But he has truly been the pillar of strength with us. You know, he's kept us united, he kept us together, and his many words of wisdom kept us going. I could not ask for a better team. And I want to, even though the political leader of Liberty Party wasn't there with us at the beginning, but she was certainly a splendid leader. In fact, as early as last night, she showed us leadership. When we had problems on how we proceed today, she called me and she said, Chairman, what is your view on this? What is your view on that? And I did give her my views and said, Chairman, I will get back to you. And she called me a few minutes after that with a solution. Yumli, our little sister, we're proud of you. And we want to thank you also for all you've done for this committee. Now, we're going forward. You all have a responsibility to ensure that this document we prepared works. Last night, I had a discussion with Mr. Cummings, and I did mention to him in the Liberian way that now, Mr. Cummings, you will have to put on elephant skin. Because politics in Liberia is a difficult thing. They will abuse you, they will attack you. It might even come from me, but keep that elephant skin strong and let it go and keep our goal ahead of you and know that you have a goal that you must accomplish. I close this brief statement again by appealing to all Liberians. The press, the naysayers, those that congratulated us when we're doing good, those that abused us when we're doing wrong, we want everybody on board. We find ourselves in a precarious situation in our country. And our generation, and I speak to the political leaders, our generation must fix what we have spoiled. If we don't fix it, our generation will go down in history as being one of the worst ever in Liberia. Again, I thank all of you for your cooperation, and we will proceed to sign the document. I will ask my chairman to sign it, and I will be attesting to it. Mr. MC, your documents have been duly signed and attested to.
Thank you to the ALP. You have the unqualified appreciation of the collaborating political parties and the Liberian people. All of our partisans appreciate your hard work and your leadership. Next, we'll go on to Honorable Alexander B. Cummings, political leader of the ANC, for special statement and signing of the document. Cummings, all yours.
Thank you, Mo. Mr. Benani Wilfred Uri, political leader of the All Liberia Party, Senator Yomne Kanga Lawrence, political leader of the Liberty Party, and His Excellency, former Vice President and Ambassador Joseph Numa Boakai, political leader and standard bearer of the Unity Party. All other protocols observed. Let me first acknowledge my colleagues who are in the room here with me today at this signing. The chairman of the Alternative National Congress, Senator Daniel Flomo Natin, the Secretary General of the ANC, Councillor Alosha Stowe, and the Chairman Emeritus of the ANC, Attorney Lafayette Gould. Thank you all for being here with me this morning at this very momentous occasion. Let me start by thanking the technical committee who worked tirelessly to draft this framework document. You know, I said throughout this process that to expect that 4 independent parties that had competed against each other will come together and quickly sing Kumbaya was not realistic. That it would take time, that it would require compromises and trade-offs. And I'm happy to say that we have reached this milestone thanks to the technical committee and thanks to my colleagues, fellow political leaders of the respective parties. I also want to thank Attorney Kofi Woods for the role he played in mediating and in helping us all to find common ground. I thank you, and again, I thank my colleagues for your willingness to focus on our country, on the will of our people to reach to this milestone. Let me remind us, however, that this is just the beginning of this journey, that these are mere words on paper, and it will be all about our actions, it will be about our intent, and it will be about us showing good faith towards each other. We have to always assume good intent. We have to always speak as often as possible to find trade-offs and compromises. Because again, as Ben and I said, this is not about us, but about our country and about the Liberian people. Achieving our goals and success will require that we do the work. It will not happen because we talk it, because we speak it. It will not happen because we wish it. It will happen because we do the work. I remind us of one of my favorite sayings that I quote from Albert Einstein, that if we keep doing the same things, we will get the same results. Doing the same things and expecting different results is the definition of insanity. And we are not crazy people. Of course, there's some things that are traditional to us that we'll have to continue and stick with. And then the other things we'll have to change and adjust if we want to move our country forward. And if ultimately we want to put Liberia on the right track to prosperity and economic growth for the Liberian people. I want to thank Benani for his resilience, his tenacity in ensuring we got to this point. I can say with all reservation that without his persistence, we may have not gotten to where we are. And although we all played a role, he as our leader was insistent, persistent, tenacious in making sure we kept this group together to achieve this end goal. So Ben and I thank you for the leadership you provided us. And I look forward to your ongoing engagement and support as we go forward. And my last comment before the chairman and I sign is again to remind us that the journey is just beginning. The work is before us. We will have some ups and downs. This will not be a smooth road to heaven. We will have bumps along the way. I want to Liberian people to understand that will happen, but in the end, we will prevail. In the end, we will be successful. In the end, we'll stick together because this is in the interest of our people. So with that said, I will ask our chairman to sign on behalf of the ANC. And then I will attest. Thank you. So, Mr. MC, the National Congress has signed and attested to this agreement. And I want to show my colleagues, fellow partisans from CPP parties, and most important, Liberian people, of our commitment to the letter and spirit of this agreement. Thank you all very much. God bless you and God bless Liberia.
Great. Thank you to the political leader and the chairman of the Alternative National Congress. Like I said to the chairman of the CPP, Honorable Benani Ure, our partisans appreciate you all and the leadership role that you have played and continue to play. So next is the political leader of the Liberty Party, Senator Yombli Kanga Lawrence, for statement, special statement, and signing of the CPP framework document. Honorable Senator, the floor is all yours.
Thank you. Ambassador Joseph N. Boyka, political leader, Mr. Chairman, Executive Committee members and partisans of the Unity Party, Mr. Alexander Cummings, political leader, Mr. Chairman, Executive Committee members and partisans of the Alternative National Congress, Mr. Benani Ure, political leader, Mr. Chairman, Executive Committee members and partisans of the All Liberian Party, Mr. Chairman, Executive Committee members, Advisory Committee, Liberty Party Global, and members of the Liberty Party, all Liberian women who are proudly represented today as the only female senator and the only female political leader of the CPP, my fellow Liberians. May I ask you to join me in a brief moment of silence in honor of my political father and mentor, and the founder and political leader of the Liberty Party, Councillor Charles Walker Bromskin, one of the architects behind the reason why we are here today, as well as to the cherished memory of my political partner, friend, and husband, who allowed and supported me to play these very tedious and challenging roles as a female and a mother in these male-dominated territories. And to the memories of the many Liberians who voluntarily and involuntarily paid the ultimate sacrifice that our country will know and shared in the values of multi-party democracy. A moment of silence, please. Thank you. Today, we make history. 4 of the leading political parties in our country are taking a leap of faith, trusting each other, counting on the best wishes of the Liberian people to stand together in gallant support and consolidation of our young democracy, which is being threatened by the lack of democratic leadership currently on display in our country. We pledge our support and trust in each other, laying aside our personal ambitions for the collective good of our country, especially with the administration which is violating rights and leading by exclusion and division of our people. We understand the heavy burden placed upon our heads to look beyond self and for the people who have a right to feel abandoned and leaderless as they suffer health crises and economic difficulties. We know we cannot fight for the people against the creeping abuses and tyranny of this administration while we fight separately and at times against each other. The wishes of the Liberian people is that we come together. And so today we dutifully commit to the wishes of our people. Democracy is never really strengthened by the number of political parties to register in an election. It is strengthened by the quality of the opposition to hold the government accountable and honest. Today, by this solemn duty, done in respect of the prevailing conditions of our health crisis, we announce to all Liberians, our international partners, all those who wish us better and well, to all of you, we say, we are ready. Our outstretched arms, we will continue to extend to other political parties to join us. Our honest support, we will continue to lend to our people and the government. But make no mistake, our resolve to offer the deserving people of Liberia a better governance alternative built on the unity of our people, selflessness, competence, and respect for the rule of law and the rights of all of our citizens will not be compromised. Let it now be clear that our personal ambitions pale in comparison to the aspirations of our people who have been treated with lack of care by an administration they elected to care. We care that our people are suffering with economic hardships, with the president of the country, while the president of the country plays Ludo in his backyard. We care that a strange virus is killing and hurting our people, depriving so many of livelihood, while the president hides away, has a plan to respond and has failed to lead. We care that Liberia has become the laughingstock of the region and the world by a growing display of gross incompetence. And even when the international community wants to help, they cannot find a competent partner in our government with whom they can work to help our suffering people. We care that our country is grossly mismanaged and corruption at the highest levels of the government rules the day. We care that women and children are being raped, abused, and violently disregarded with impunity, and young girls and young boys are falling more and more into being sexually molested and preyed upon. We care that the so-called change for hope is now creating hopelessness amongst our people. It should have been rightly called hustle against the Liberian people, because that is truly what it is. Enough is enough. Today, we close the curtain on the honeymoon of unchallenged incompetence, corruption, abuses of power, selective justice, carelessness. Our people deserve better. Our country deserves better, and we know that together we can do better. And yes, the CPP will do better. We thank our technical team and lawyers for working tirelessly to prepare this framework. We are also grateful to all of our partisans, supporters, well-wishers, critics, media practitioners, social media activists, and talk show hosts for the support, encouragement, and pieces of advice. Today honors all of you too. All who are disappointed in the performance of this administration and yearn for a better alternative in a more unified nation. I congratulate party chairpersons, executive committees for their time and diligence to see this come to reality. And also, I salute all the political leaders for the selflessness without which this could never have happened. Let's save the celebrations for later. For now, there is so much work to be done. We need to win the Liberian Senate for the Liberian people in a few months and replace this failed administration in 2023. Let's go to work for our people, and may God bless these works of our hands for the betterment of our people. Thank you. And upon that, sitting in the presence of the chairman of the Liberty Party and local chairpersons in Grand Bassa County, where we are, the chairman of the ANC, the chairman of the Unity Party, the chairman of the ALP, the representative from the ALP, and the Women Wing chair and Senator Jonathan Carpet, who are all present here today. My chairman will sign this document and I will attest to it. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, and we are particularly honored that you have begun to show to everyone that this collaboration is holding, and as a very powerful political leader, you've been able to bring together our local chapter heads with you to witness the signing. We applaud you and we say thank you to you, and thank you to Senator Steve Zago and Senator Jonathan Kaipi for participating in the process. The Liberian people appreciate you. Next on the signing, the last but not the least, is Ambassador Joseph Nyuma Boakai, former Vice President of the Republic of Liberia and standard bearer of the Unity Party, who will make a special statement and proceed like the others have done with the signing ceremony, along with him, the chairman, the acting chairman of the Unity Party, and the vice chairman for inter-party and election affairs. Ambassador Joseph Nyuma Boakai, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Thank you for taking up this time. I'd like to add to the list of those in whose memory we have silenced the late Honorable Geraldine Oferi and the Honorable Ada Behrens. people who have stood for social justice and true democracy in this country. In signing ceremony for the framework documents of the collaborating parties, the CPP, on this May 19, 2020, I'd like to say my distinguished leaders of the CPP, representatives of the respective parties, ladies and gentlemen. I'm especially pleased and proud to sign on behalf of the Unity Party this framework document, setting out a roadmap for effective and genuine collaboration among our parties. This ceremony is a culmination of our long and painstaking negotiations by representatives of our individual parties. The framework document is a manifestation of our determination to forge ahead with our collaboration to put forth committed and loyal contestants for the senatorial by-elections and the single credible candidate for the 2023 presidential election. The CPP must remain cohesive and strong to replace a leadership that retreats into seclusion and remains silent when our people face existential threat from a deadly global pandemic and an economy devastated by a gross mismanagement, corruption, and utter incompetence. The Liberian people are hurting and deserve much better than the misrule they are now suffering and the responsive to their plight presently. Governance is not play, or is a play acting. Like the late movie star John Wayne, the famous movie star says, never send a boy to do a man's job. I commend all leaders of the CPP for standing firm. I want to also thank the facilitators and representatives for their sacrifices and commitment to produce this document. Let us now go forward with a gumption and even greater resolve to implement. For this moment, I want to thank our outgoing chairman, Benani Ure, for his courageous budget to this time. Also, Honorable Kofi Woos for his legal steering hand, and our lawmakers for standing by us, our technical team to their diligence and commitment. And last but not the least, to all our Liberians here and in the diaspora for keeping our feet to the fire. To our incoming chair, I want to say congratulations. Thank you and God bless you. We now proceed with the signing. Our chairman is here, our room here, we are maintaining social distance, but we have good Liberians who are wishing for the best of this country. Some women also of flourishing the class. This chairman, acting chair, the Unity Party, please do the signing. I'm signing my name.
Yeah, you signed it up.
Well, the document is duly signed, and I want to Thank you all, and thank all of you for being with us. Mr. Moderator, the document is signed.
Well, we want to say thank you to the standard bearer and chairman of the Unity Party. Our partisans appreciate you. We appreciate your work. At this point in time, we'll move on to the transition of the CPP's chairmanship by Honorable Benani Wilfred Ure of the ALP to Honorable Alexander Benedict Cummings of the ANC. Before that, now that the signing is complete, we will ask Honorable Ure to officially declare the CPP framework document signed by the 4 constituent political parties, the Alternative National Congress, the All Liberian Party, the Liberty Party, and the Unity Party. And from there on, he will transition the chairmanship to Honorable Alexander Cummings. Honorable Ure, back to you.
Thank you, Mr. Moali. On behalf of the 4 political leaders, Alexander B. Cummings, Ambassador Joseph Liman Boyka, and Senator Yumli Kanga Lawrence, I want to, at this time, inform Liberians living in Liberia and Liberians in the diaspora that we, the 4 collaborating parties, under their mandate, have gotten together and we have concluded the first major step. And that first major step is the signing this framework document. And I want to show it up to the Liberian people and let them know that what they mandated us to do, we have succeeded in doing it. May God bless this document and use it to unite our people and move our country forward. I know time is far spent. I will move right on to symbolically turn over the chairmanship to my colleague, Alexander B. Cummings. My people, you know, all during this process, people kept saying, oh, rotational, it's rotational, your time over, your time over. But like I told Mr. Cummings last night, at times you make hard decisions, but these decisions must be in the interest of the Liberian people. I didn't have to justify to everybody that I had a mandate, and my mandate was to ensure that this document is completed and that we move ahead. I'm pleased today to now, in my former capacity as chairman of the collaborating political parties, to turn over the symbolic mantle of authority to my colleague, Alexander Cummings.
Wow.
And why turning it over? I want to assure him of our cooperation. And I'm turning over to you, Mr. Cummings, the people of Liberia. Hold them well, and they will hold you well. God bless the CPP, and God save us.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Ure. We'll now hear from Honorable Alexander Cummings, his acceptance remarks.
Thank you, And Ben, I thank you again. As I mentioned earlier, your resilience, tenacity has gotten us to this point, and we need to acknowledge that. I want the Liberian people to know that we have defined a process by which we will rotate the leadership of the CPP. That process is alphabetical. Let me also say, given the fact that we're starting this framework agreement formally, Ben and I could have decided that, ALP alphabetically goes first, and you could legitimately continue that leadership role. But he was very gracious in saying, I brought the CPP to this point, it's now appropriate to hand it over, and the ANC next in line alphabetically will take over, followed by the Liberty Party, and then eventually by the Unity Party, and the cycle will start again. So Ben and I, thanks for that. Ben, I want to remind you that I'm older than you, even though you're bigger. I'm your big brother.
What are you bigger than me?
As we go forward, don't forget I'm a few months older than you, even though you're physically bigger and you think I'm your small brother.
Yeah.
Let me thank my small sister Yumli for your engagement and support. We were all up till late last night talking to Ambassador Boykai, Chairman Yuri, and Yumli to get to this point. So let me thank you all for your engagement. And I know I can count on your support. And to my big brother, and if I may, Joe, I'll call you Joe on this call, because I've actually known Joe longer than I've known almost anybody politically in Liberia. And I want to thank him for his advice, for his support, both in the past and going forward. And I know I can count on all of you and every member of your teams to help us be successful. I want to assure you that we will be collaborative. We'll try to build consensus, but we'll also need to make decisions along the way. But we'll do that in a spirit of collaboration and consensus, and we'll do the work to make sure that happens. We will not always agree. There's a saying that I like: if two people always agree, only one is doing the thinking. But I'm sure we will always find consensus. We'll always compromise so that we can move this process forward. And my last comment is to remind all of us, and I think we've all commented on this, is that we need to make sure we hold this government accountable to Liberian people. We know this government is incompetent, is inept, and our people are suffering as a consequence. If you ask Liberians today, are you better off today than you were a week ago or a month ago? Unanimously, Liberians will say they're worse off. And it's up to us to constitutionally and legitimately hold this government accountable and challenge them, and then to ultimately replace them in the senatorial elections coming up and ultimately the presidential election. So I thank you. I accept this responsibility with a lot of humility, and I can assure you the work will start right away, because this is just the beginning. The work now actually begins. So thank you all. God bless you, and God bless Liberia.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me apologize. I said I was going to start my analysis at 9 a.m. New York time, and looking at the time right now, it's 9:05. I thought the video was going to be precisely 1 hour, but it seems to be a little bit over 1 hour. Again, my name is James Randy, and many of you that know me, I'm a guy who is very difficult to deal with. I'm difficult to deal with because I don't have personal interest when it comes to the improvement, the development of our country. Because I feel that God gave me the opportunity to come to this country to not only fight for myself, but to fight for a family that I have. And one of the ways that I can give back to Liberia is to seek for the truth, nothing but the truth. I may not have the thousands of people watching me, but today is Sunday, and this is one of the days of the week that I love. The other day is Friday, and I used to love Friday when I was in school because I don't have to go to school the next day. I love Friday because I don't work on the weekends. Sunday is a day that is very dear to my heart. My approach is a lesson learned from Liberian politics. And I want those who are ready, my friends, because you see, in your orbit of friends, you have dependable friends, you have trusted friends, and you just got personal interest friends. So my dependable friends, my trusted friends, if you truly believe that Liberia need to make progress, join the little space I have on Facebook and let's seek for the truth. That being said, my lesson learned came from CDC. I was innocent like many of you guys before. But after I came here, grew up here, went through the rank and file, understanding who I am, I thought that the CDC was going to be a party in post-war Liberia, contemporary Liberian politics, to begin to look at the challenges in our country and start to change the direction of our country. But as you all can see today, the truth that we needed someone to lead us to a path that will start the progress. The reality is not meeting the expectation today. And thank God during my campaign for Mr. Weir, I said that he doesn't do the right thing, I will come back here and criticize him. And because of that justification, today, many people don't like me, they're not my friends, because they went in there with personal interest. Now, for those of you who are ANC members, ALP member, Unity Party member, what would be the surprise of the very Liberian people that every one of you guys are talking about right now? Because the reality here is, when we are and the CDC were in the opposition, they said, my people, my people, my people. But today, those people they talk about, they are not on their priority list. So what about you from the ANC? What about you from the ALP? What about you from the Recycle Unity Party? What do you want now? The reason I present the video to you here is very simple. I challenge you to give you $200 today. I don't give money to people, but I'll promise you to give you $200. If you go online and find this document, one thing I want you to look at, check the date here. The video you just watched, the document was signed on May 19th, 2020. But whenever you go online, you wouldn't see the document here. And this particular document is not signed. It is not signed. One thing I know the white man had taught every one of us, you see the other document here? This is an agreement between ArcelorMittal and the Liberian government. The difference there, I'll show you. It's online and everything is signed here. It's online and everything is signed here. If you come to the CPP documents, Article 13, Section 13, you will not find nobody's signature online. You will not find any document that say May 19, 2020. The document you saw those guys signing is not online for your own reading and nourishment. Neither Cummins, Boka, Ure, and Nnamdi Kanga. So here's what I have done. Every time I come here, I tell you guys, I reach out to Miguel. Some of you guys in the opposition, you love to hear the gossip, right? There's a guy called Munga. He is ANC Global in the United States. I text him and ask him if he is in possession of the signed copy that you just watched Bernard Uridan talking about here. Muna Farad is a very good friend. I also text him, asking him for a copy of the signed document that the people have. Aseva Togba, former CDC chairman, he is the chief of staff in the office of Alexander Cummins. I also sent him a text message to respond to me if every one of them can send me a signed copy. I'm still waiting for them. But let me say this to you guys. I'm having a funny feeling that while it is true that I stand behind Alexander Cummings because of a principle that he took from America, I'm having this funny feeling that he's not been 100% clear to the Liberian people. And I'm going to say this. And this is where you got the ANC people that come to me every time to watch me. You're going to get different with me here now. I'm not looking for a job over there. I don't have no personal interest in Cummings. The interest I have in Cummings is for you to do the right thing for the Liberian people. You listen to all of them just now, right? All of them. Oh, the Liberian put this. Let us not do this. Let us not do. But they don't have the paper, the sign. They don't have it online for you to see. But you see the white man. Go right now. Go right now online. Type in Google. You will find a document. And on the document, you will find Samuel Tua's signature. You will find Samuel Tua's signature. And you will find Vanny Salif. And you will find all the Southern Metal people. Because there is something called transparency. There is something called transparency. Mr. Cummings is getting ready to go on that political gossip and entertainment show they call Spoon Network. Before you go there, I want you to prepare your minds and start to ask Mr. Cummings, where is the signed copy that you, Ure, Boka, Nomlikanga signed on May 19th, 2020? Where is that copy? Let him show it. I must get Cummings tough love because I believe in Cummings. I'm not like some of you guys who want to get him a personal love because you want something from Cummings. When Cummings was at Coca-Cola, I believe everything that was sent to the regulatory institution of the United States government and all other countries that operated in, those documents, Cummings wanted to make sure that those documents were signed and made public. Because as a world trading company, every process must be transparent. And I expect Cummings, as part of the characteristic that I support him on, to also manifest the same characteristic in what he does in the Liberian people community. So if you're ANC person, I'm not here defending Cummings because I have an interest. I want you to understand that. Let's be honest. You see why I don't go to church, especially Liberian people church? Because dishonesty is also in our flesh and bone and blood, and we are not willing to accept the truth. I have criticized we are here so many times that we are not even speak to me right now. Yesterday, when I read on Front Page Africa about the communication that was leaked, I immediately sent it to Nathaniel Magill. I said, Mr. Magill, I need you to send me that transcript because it's already public. It's public, published information now. Magill hasn't responded to me yet. One thing I'm learning from the Liberian people, folks, they are not honest to our people back home. You have to test them to know them. You have to test them to know them. Don't be friends with them. You have to test them to know them. So, Mr. Cummings, I know you're going on a political entertainment show today. Why my people here listening to me and they're getting the real political awareness? I expect you guys to go to that political entertainment show because those guys on that show, they're only there for the fame, for the name. I don't need fame from anybody else. I just want you to look at me and say, yes, this young man is doing his best because of what he learned from the past and he's asking questions. I want going forward, after Cummings leave that so-called spoon talk, I want to see the May 2020 document that they signed, that the video you just watched. I want to see it online. Why? Because you and I will have a copy, just how you see this copy endorsement between Estella Mattel and the Liberian government for the people of Nima, Grand Bassa, and Bonkante, that detail exactly what needs to be done and who are the public officials that we need to go to. The Chief Operating Officer of Estella Mattel signature is here. Vanny A. Salif, Minister of Internal Affairs, Mr. Maury, Minister of Lands and Mines and Energy, and of course, Mr. Samuel Ture. These are the individuals who are supposed to ensure that our people from the county benefit. This is a public document that you in the opposition can go and grab and entertain your listener and your audience with. Now, if you're in the opposition, why can't you seek for this document too? Why can't you go for the document and bring it so that the opposition, which is the government people, the independent mind, can say, yes, you're doing the right thing? Why? Why? You see, my friend, I was born in Liberia. Tell every one of you guys listen to me here. And I will not say everybody, because right now I'm broadcasting on Twitch, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Facebook, I'm on my own page, and I'm in my own group. So technically it's about 4 or 5 groups I'm broadcasting on right now. So I won't say if you're born in Liberia, because there are other people from Twitch where I usually go to have some realization. I already also get an account with them as well. So if you're a Liberian, born and raised in Liberia before leaving, the reason I personally believe that I cannot work in Liberia but consult is because I am yet to see any trusted person in our country. I'm not saying Komi is not trusted, but from what Komi is trying to do, you see, yesterday, I showed you guys an equation. Let me get that thing there. Where is it? You may not understand this thing here, right? But I will explain it to you. Exposure formula. You may not understand this, but I will explain it to you. You see, the camera that we take, there is a mathematical equation, especially when people are running. Those who are photographers for sporting event, especially Olympic, there is a mathematical equation they use, such as this, to come up with a better exposure picture of everyone they take. From down here to here is the speed. So as you take in the picture, there are sometimes the picture will be blurry, and it happens on your cell phone too, right? There are sometimes the picture will not be so blurry, but there are certain times the picture will come very perfect, but you want to get a clear exposure of that picture. That is exactly what I'm using here. All right? That is exactly what I'm using here. I'm seeing comments in my image. He's starting from a speed 0, going up in what he does, but his picture is not getting clear to me. Some picture looking blur, some picture looking not so blur, some picture sometimes look good, but I'm looking for the perfect one. And that means whatever Cummings is doing in Liberia, he needs to be transparent in every way. He mentioned about process. As an engineer, we look at process flow in any system to see how well it is going. Police officer will look at the traffic flow. You yourself will look at the traffic flow because you want to determine where you will make your best decision. And anybody that see you doing such a thing, they will get to understand. This document, I'm holding everybody accountable to provide the signed copy. Because with that signed copy, you will be able to see what is going on. Because when you look at Nnamdi Kanga document, here is Nnamdi Kanga allegation here. I went through everything here. Nnamdi Kanga allegation. All right. No, this is Cummings. Yeah. This is Nnamdi Kanga allegation here. I've gone through it and read through it. This is Mr. Cummings allegation here. I went through it. And of course, this is Mr. Ure. This is Mr. Ure allegation here. Now, as I go through all the documents of their own account of what happened in the document, how can I conclude that what Ure is saying, Nnamdi is saying, Comey has said, how can I conclude when the mother document, which is this, is not around for us to see? Because this document will validate what all they are saying here, all of them. But if we don't have this, because what I have here, why it is true, is the final copy. It was just the final copy after they did the technical review, right? And then they went, because from April, you go to May. So they came out with the final one and uploaded it on Facebook, online. So it remained there. But after they signed this other document, where their signature are, you search all around, you cannot find it. How can we ensure that there is even a document that is existing? Can I stand right now and say they're playing with us? Can I say right now that because we have not seen the sound copy that validate that indeed the ANC, the ALP, the LP, and the Unity Party are now illegitimate? What happened to the Freedom Request, Freedom for Information Act? If the National Election Commission is in possession of the document, why can't we go on their web page and pull the document? Why can't we go and ask Mr. Ure for a copy of the signed document, Boka? Why can't we have the political party chairman, Musa Bedete, to provide us the signed copy? My friend, Liberians, unless you believe in political entertainment and political gossip. But the Jeremy you're looking at here, when it comes to Liberia, how you take your job seriously in this country, because you got to pay your mortgage, you got to pay for everything. That is the same mindset that I have for Liberia when it comes to Liberia. Yes. As I told you guys, Mr. Twe is my personal friend. I was a sedition. If I wanted to be the other people, I would have gone to Liberia and just do what I wanted to do there and come right back here and sit down here. But that's not what I believe God brought me, not only on the earth, but to be born as a Liberian. And now you see why people would not like me, because I always seek for the truth. I will now hold Ure accountable going forward today. I will leave it with you guys. I will now hold Boka accountable going forward when it comes to the CPP document. I'll leave it with you guys. I will now hold Cummings accountable going forward after the show. I will now hold Nombikanga accountable, but I will hold you guys out there accountable. Whether you for any political party opposition to go after them for the sound copy. When you bring the sound copy, then it will motivate me now to begin to do more research and give it to you guys. And give it to you guys. Because without a sound document, it is invalid. The document you see online here is not signed by any of them. That in the world of legality, this is not valid. It will no water. It will no water in any sensible man legal minds when it comes to documentation. It will no water. Don't take your personal feeling of what I'm saying here and get mad with me. Because one thing I know and have seen over time, because I monitor data most of the time. When I come here and pepper some of you, I go to my following, it go down. When I come and say good thing, then my following go up. Then you are inconsistent. Because you are not static. You are dynamic. You keep going up and down. As long as it's good for you, then you stay up there. When it's bad for you, then you drop. You are not a constant person. Your consistency should be about the truth. Your consistency should be about the people of Liberia. Because why? The people of Liberia remain a constant variable in our political equation. Any gone, we are there, we will go, but what will remain constant is the people of Liberia. So if you become dynamic, dynamic going up and down, then you are not in the Liberian people's interest. And that's why when you come here to listen to the truth, you either run away, you come back. I'm sorry, ANC people. I'm sorry, Unity Party people. Until I get that document, the signed copy, I'm not going to be taken for a ride. Y'all can go to the other station there and go have your fun town there. Because they ain't got a damn about the Liberian people suffering back there. They live in America here, just as some of us here. So what do you think? They don't have the empathy for the people, neither the sympathy, but they just want you guys to come and sit down there and have fun. I'm waiting and looking forward to having a conversation with Mr. Cummings. I said this from the beginning of this year. If I don't get to talk to Cummings, ANC people, you can kiss goodbye. I'm not going to support you. I'm not going to support you. I'm going to remain in the middle, and I'm going to criticize everyone and tell the Liberian people my peace of the mind. That if they made a mistake and put anybody there that they don't really properly vet, they on their own. They on their own. Cummings need to come to places that are very tough enough so that he can understand that not all Liberians going to pay heed to him. No. I may support anybody, but as long as you're in the interest of the Liberian people, as long as you are transparent, I will support you. If I wanted to be a greedy person, I would have stayed with George Weah. I would have stayed with George Weah. So ANC, ALP, Liberty Party, Unity Party, I want to see the May 19th signed document. It was signed May 19, 2020. You saw the video, it's there for you. Share it. Share it. Share it. Class, I come to an end, guys. I'm done with you guys. Have yourself a pleasant day. Remember the face. I don't need no job from nobody. I don't need job from Boka. I don't need job from Ure. I don't need job from Nombikanga. I don't need job from Cummins. I wouldn't want to consult with any Liberian, whether you're in government, in the private sector, to help my fellow Liberians to get a skills that will make them to be independent and take them out of that dependency syndrome. That is my goal. You're either with me or you with them. You heard all of them. Mr. Ure said, our generation will be the one to be remembered to be the failure forever. If you follow Mr. Ure and what is being done and you're not asking questions, then what he said, it is true. If you listen to comments saying we can't keep doing the same thing over and over because we keep doing the same thing over and then it's stupid, then of course, if you see them do the same thing, hiding document, even though we had a Freedom of Information Act that gave you the right to request for document, which I'm using right now, and most of you got running away, you're on your own. I wouldn't trust 5 people on my show. My 5 trusted men, because they know where we stand. They see the challenges ahead. If you want to be part of them, come here with an open mind. Smart people always accept things that they don't know, and they add it to what they have learned. That is some of the characteristics of being a smart person. Go check it out on Google. Go in Google machine. What are the characteristics of a smart person? 1, to come with an open mind. Come with an open mind, my fellow Liberians. I'm not joking here. I'm not joking. I learned my lesson. I have been taught in this country that when you learn your lesson, you should do it in a way that it will not cause harm for other people. That is what they have taught me to do here, fellow Liberians. That's what they have taught me to do here. All right? So, guys, thank you guys so much for the opportunity. I want to say thank you for everyone for the beautiful comment you guys have made here today. I really appreciate all the comments here. All right? All right? I appreciate all the comments. I see a lot of people writing a lot of stuff here, and I'm very pleased with them. I hope you guys took notes here. Somebody said, thank you for the program. Yes. I see Kuma here say, but that is why everyone else is asking coming for the document. Yes, and not only we shouldn't only be asking comments alone here, we should be asking every one of them, including Musa Bedede, because they all should be in possession of the copy. We should even be asking Mo Ali as well too. We need to ask every one of them. Everyone who came here from the beginning of the show, when I 112 that ran away, they are the one who came with a stone to stone the woman who they condemned as a Hopojo. And when Jesus started writing on the ground, let me ask you, which one of you guys having done XYZ? And then all of them ran away. Those are the people then that don't need well for this country. They don't mean well. They thought I would come here now to kind of rip you apart again. No. This time around, I came for every one of them, including Cummins. So every one of you go and ask them, where is the sound copy? Because we need that sound copy to have a better conversation. We don't want to control the conversation. Let the document be the one to control the conversation. Let the document be the one to control the conversation. Because the document will provide the facts. So the way it stands now, nobody will win right now. Costa and Euro got 0. Boka and her people got 0. Cummins and her people got 0. Nomikanga and her people got 0. If you don't believe that, then go destroy the Liberian people. Because you are working in the vacuum. Because you know why? Every document that is signed by the white man with the Liberian government, it got signature on it. That means they are transparent. And we are not. We are not. We are not. So somebody say, oh, these people wouldn't come on your farm, pick your paper and cook their soup and raisin. All right. And let me see. Robert G is watching here. All right. Somebody said, I think I read it one here. Thank you for talking. This is why I kept asking. Why is it that Mr. Cummins? Okay, I think I read this before. I see Chibi is watching here. My first time seeing your show today is Speak True to power. I wish to follow this. Yes, Aaron Jackson tried to be, all right? Aaron Jackson, if you're still watching here, I got to show you something here, my brother, all right? This is me right here, Aaron Jackson. This is me here. I'm no different from any Liberian right now in the country. And because I'm here today, I'm not fighting for myself anymore. I'm fighting for those who are back there. And I want to make sure that people come and understand what the truth is. That's what I'm fighting for here, all right? So let me see here again. Let me see, I see Aaron here. I see Paris Monte, thank you. And let's see, even people in America are used by CPP. Yes, you're right. On the global, you're right. And not only in America here, Jeff Batu say thank you. All right. And let me see, thank you for the program. Bama Kana is here. Coming was my man until he followed Musa corrupt. Well, that's your opinion. I respect that as well. All right. Victoria questions watching. Yes, Mr. Folks coming is still bringing it to his colleagues. I see something here. Let me see here. All right. And then let me see here. Somebody share a YouTube video here. I don't know what that is here. Somebody sharing Nima Victory here. All of you guys who coming with your Nima thing there. You're hilarious. I love that. You're promoting things there. All right. You are right. Okay. So there's so many comments here. Somebody say you are contradicting. No politician is trusted in Liberia. Let me see. You are contradicting. No politician in Liberia is trusted. No. I'm not. Let me see what they call it. Benjamin Bertrand. No politician is not. And when you say you are contradicting, no politician is trusted in Liberia, but you trust Cummings. You see, it's one thing to know about something, and it's another thing to understand, Benjamin. My defense for Mr. Cummings is based on the character that he exhibits from America. I don't know where you live. And even if you live in America here, I don't know what you do for a living here. But I'm looking at Mr. Cummings' character in this country that he built for himself. And I'm challenging him to his character. And that is why today I'm here asking him now for the document. And that the reason I'm asking for the document is because I just showed a video to you guys that showed that he was part of his signatures that signed a document. But that document is not online. So I don't know what is your level of IQ, and I'm not here to challenge you. But when I say Cummings is a politician that I'm looking up to, one, he hasn't been elected to go into public office yet. Until that happens, I would defend his character as someone from the United States who works here. However, if Cummings is doing something that is very funny, as in the case where I'm challenging him now for documentation, I don't know where are you coming from now where, oh, you trusted Cummings. No. You see, we have to separate our knowing something from understanding something. And I think the way we struggle. And the reason I believe this is so because our school curriculum is set in a way that we don't put in more quantitative and analytical thinking in what we do when we were back in Liberia. I see our kids here going to school here and learning more of being a quantitative thinker than just being a normal student. So I'm not trying to say anything here, but I think your statement here, it commits some form of fallacy because your argument doesn't have any premise right now. All right. So let Hassan Howell here is watching here. Let's see here. Let's see. Okay, I see people here. Okay, I see a lot of people here today. That is an integral. Yes, John Hina said that's an integral. Thank you very much. So I think John Hina actually understood why I was trying to pursue what somebody said, wow, this is why 900 view nonsense. So somebody is saying I got 109 view, so that's nonsense. You see, Liberian people, sometimes I don't blink. And let me see the name of the person here. Somebody called Napoleon Sasso. You see, when you see the politician behaving this way, I agree to some extent. Because you see, Liberian people, many of them, they look at big numbers. But what value is that number? You said that and watch Spoon TV from January to December last year. Nothing changed. But you sit there and watch a guy who took $64,000 from, $45,000 from our country and living in America here. But the difference between the white man country, especially the black man country, Liberia, Eddie Cochran was accused of taking money from Liberia, right? but she came to America here, they lock her up. It is not how many people you watching your show. It is what sense are you giving to the people. So when you see somebody come here, oh, you never got this view, you never got that view, then I don't blame the politician for hiding the truth, because they know that many Liberians are arrogant. They follow the pleasure rather than following the sense to be a Liberian. So this guy now, he goes around. He can go on a show right now. For example, I'll bring my man Prophet Key in. This guy they call Nelson, when you go to Prophet Key and Prophet Key causing women, causing mom, as long as that number is high, that's what he gets his satisfaction. A guy like that in this country, he lived in the Liberia of America, or he lived in the Liberia of Europe, or lived in the Liberia of China, but he don't live in a real sensible country, because he's not looking for what makes sense. He's only looking for what number he can see. And that is one of the tragedy. And that, based on the guy understanding, that's why I always say, only by the year 2065, that when Liberia will be a better country. Because by then, most of the generation existing today will be dead and gone. Because if a guy think that way, oh, you never got one and now view people, so that nonsense. You see how we think? Now you see why when some Liberians take themselves to be so proud and don't want to hold them accountable? Because it is from our people's behavior. Mr. Yuri was right when he said our people are very difficult to deal with. The politicians know the challenges, they know how to work around it. Because when you come straight to tell Liberian people the truth, because we put feelings over our common sense of reasoning, we take our personal feeling over the Constitution we brag about. The Constitution does not consider your personal feelings. The Constitution is there to give everyone his or her right as a Liberian. But when you come to speak to those things, many Liberians take their personal feeling over the Constitution. Yet then still they say they support the Constitution. We got a long way to go. We were making progress until 1989, but we got off the rail and things are bad off. All right? So let me see here. We're making progress here. All right? Oh, you unblock me now? Yes. Yes. I said, Johnson, I didn't unblock you. Those who were not making comment on my show, like I said, I went back there and unblocked everybody. But here's the thing. You are liberty under the Constitution and honor my rules here that applies to everybody. You can disagree with me here. The other guy who said, I only got 109 viewers, that's fine. I didn't block it because that's his opinion, but I have to address it. But if you use any profanity here because you are angry, you will not be here. You will not be here. But you can come here and express yourself. You can disagree with me all you want, because that's what Liberia should be based upon, to build for a better society. We must disagree. But don't take a personal feeling and can't insult you. Then you'll be black. You support comment, but you are not a blind loyalist. Thank you very much. Paris Man just make a comment here. You support comment, but you're not a blind loyalist. I only support comment characteristic. I'm not an ASC member yet. I'm still, you see, the reason I'm challenging comment right now is because I want to make sure that I get the best out of him. All right? So you're right. All right. So let's see here. And okay, I'm not going to read that. Comment is a sin. Okay, that one is a conversation there. I see one of my big fire. Good morning. Okay. So I'm reading that by you who that people should be giving document. Now look at the other guy here. There's a guy they call M. Nelson Davis. Mr. David is asking me, you who for somebody to give you document. And the way the guy dressed there, he got a very nice coat suit on. You know when they say don't judge the book by the color, what I would say, don't understand that the man wearing a coat suit, but read what he wrote. Do not judge the book by the color. I will hold that steady. But do not convince yourself that the clothes the man wearing make him a better person. Read what he wrote. This guy they call M. Nelson Davis. He got a problem. He doesn't understand the package that a democratic country have. There is something called Freedom of Information Act. So you see this guy, I don't know who you support, but yeah, what he telling you now, whether he support Cummings, whether he support Boka, whether he support Numbly, or Ure, this is the guy who when they in power, and there is a public document. Because every public document should be a published for the public to see. But he's telling you now, who are you to come out for the document? But these people want to be leader of our country. And our democracy has 4 pillars: total freedom, justice, representation, and equality. But he's telling you now, why you want a document for? You see, we already had dictator, and that's what I'm saying. Until 2065, we going nowhere, my friend. They accusing we are in today, but he's saying, who are you to ask for document? My friend, there is something called Freedom of Information Act. In the country here, that probably the best and better democracy here, you can ask for any government document. If it's classified, they will give you what is not classified. That is one of the illiteracy again that this brother is going through here. His name is M. Nelson Davis. He is very illiterate when it comes to Freedom of Information Act. He's very illiterate. And he is illiterate when it comes to what? Transparency. I'm not being mean here, but we have to address this thing. We have to give our fellow librarians the tough love to understand these things. All right? So let's move down the home here. Thank you for saying the truth. All right? Do I look like a fool or more sycophant? Okay, that's a conversation between 2 people here. And let me see here. Interesting. Okay, I see Victor here. I see a lot of people, some people just here to watch things. All right, listening. Yes, I'm watching. Thank you. And let's continue. There's too many. You look at competent people, my people, real nonsense. All right, this is a weird guy here too. He doesn't see we are doing anything wrong here. His name is Amadou. Amadou live in America here. He drive in the snow. People plow the road. He have fun here. But the people back home that suffering, he doesn't care. So, guy like Amadou, I don't waste my time behind. Yes, I don't waste my time behind. Somebody said, I listened to Tuere Gonglo and he sounded genuine in leadership of the nation, but I am not sure with all the fiasco. Yeah, Tuere Gonglo, we'll talk about Tuere Gonglo one of these days too. You guys are the main problem because you can't think outside the box. So this guy is having a conversation here with somebody here. I love the conversation here. All right. So after they turned it over to Cummings, he went and okay. So I now see where the conversation coming from. Political party talking less than 100 people watching. Yes. So somebody called the boys. He said political party people watching and less than 100 people watching. My friend, that country got a problem. The problem that Liberia have right now. It more than any problem in anybody book. The people have conditioned our mind. They are giving our people mental slavery. Like somebody said, even the people that bring in America here, their minds are conditioned. They cannot open it. They believe that the more people that watch you, that will make you famous. But they don't understand. Look at the COVID that is taking place in the country. Do you see the billion people on the face of the planet going to lab every day to solve the problem? No. It is only few scientists, public health officials, who are making decisions for the rest of the billion people on the face of the planet. But in the Liberian world, they will say everyone should go do the research because they all know it. That's how our minds work. And for me, it's very challenging to me. I cannot solve that problem. You see, Liberia refused to lessen illiteracy, to put an expiration date to illiteracy. So many of us travel and come to this country, the illiteracy still live within us. Our analytical skill, understanding things. So anytime you come on, you see 600 people watching. Well, so if somebody know that Liberia is going to sink in the Atlantic Ocean, and I mean, when I got 5 person, nobody cares what this is. But the other Americans say, oh, Germany, yeah, tomorrow have a big party, and everybody go there. And then when something happens, then the person can say, oh, but what's going on here? Liberia is one of the electric countries on the face of the planet. You got to face that reality. Liberia is one of the electric countries on the face of the planet. The way our people think is how we see things in our country. And until we acknowledge the fact that we are electric in so many areas, we're not going nowhere. Liberians go on Facebook, you know what they look for? They only look for people with big numbers. While the men saying bullcrap, they don't care. Along their friends in there, they're part of it. But there is something called the 80% versus the 20%. We haven't reached that level yet. We are not. Wow. Yes. I feel for our people. I really do. I really feel for our people. Somebody say, yeah, so if the government of Liberia want to go after them, they have all legal rights to do so. And that's a conversation there. All right. So let's see here. I'm reading the conversation here. It's a lot of conversation, guys. So let me see the time. It's 9:44 here. All right. It's 9:44. So somebody said, so JMB was already the standard bearer. Yes, they classify him as the standard bearer already. And you know, they classify. Let me see. I see my screen here as well too. On the screen here. Alanda King just put something here. I just got back from Liberia 4 days ago. We have problem in our country. It is ourselves. Stephen Clinton is giving an update here too. Steve, thank you very much for that update. Alanda King said the country problem is politics, my brother. That's true. What a way to put it. Yeah, that's a very beautiful way to put it too. Yes, let me put some of the comments out here for you guys here. Yeah, let me put some of the comments out here so you guys can see the comments here. All right, so let me see here. So Alanda King here. Let me come with Robert here. So this is what Robin wrote here. Robin said, brother, of recent, I have been following you despite your very few viewers, but indisputably, you are one of the folks on social media who makes a whole lot of sense when discussing Liberian politics. Over the past month, I have never got myself occupied with things to miss your logic. Thank you very much, Robin. I appreciate you for that. I'm an engineer, and an engineer turned politician. Engineer want to be politician on Facebook. Liberian will find it very difficult to understand me because I use my engineering and analytical skill to discuss Liberian politics. And for the most part, I've been in Liberian politics in 2010 before even Facebook Live came out. So I understand the challenges that Liberian people face. They are more into entertainment than go. You know, think about this way. It's just like how you find the Indians, the Chinese going into very advanced era in America here. But then you find many other people from other countries, especially continent, especially from Africa, doing the more liberal job here. But the most scientific job are done mostly by the Indian and the Chinese. So most of the time when the women look at the Asian person, they get as soon as the Asian person is smart, when they look at us, our colors, oh, they may not work this. So that's why it is when I see our Facebook group of people, right? And it's a challenge. And no disrespect, but it's just the fact. It's just the truth. Because we are being conditioned to just enjoy entertainment. We are not challenging ourselves to take the step beyond. So thank you very much, my sister Robin. Yes. So somebody say here, 9% I ain't educated. Yes, you're right. That's why it is. And when we acknowledge this thing, we have to fight it. So from what I'm seeing now, it's going to be very difficult to challenge the CDC government. Yes, because the very people in the opposition, they are all getting upset. So why do you think they're getting upset for? So my brother Peter said, go ahead, Randy. You are doing good. We watch you and learn a lot. Thank you, brother P. Yes, thank you, brother P. So I'm just really coming now because the real analysis is done. So I'm just taking Q. This is a Q section now. I will call Q article is a review section. All right. Yeah. Review section, RS review section. That's what I'm doing. And that's one of the reasons why, if I look at things, you see, when I tell you guys, I just want to go to Liberia to go and consult. Because when you play a consultancy role, you wouldn't do what you are asked to do and walk out of there. Because Liberia has become a country where you can teach old or new trick. The people in America here, let me tell you some of the things. Some of the people in the country, they know what they want from Liberia personally. And they will do anything at any cost to play into the mind of the Liberian people. They will either come here and cause joy all day, or they will come here and cause coming all day, and they know the people are divided. If you cause it, they come and support you. If you cause the opposition, they can't support you. If you cause the government, they can't support you. But they're not giving you the independent mind. And now at the end of the day, the people suffer a lot. Yes, people suffer a lot. So let me see what I brought. People who fight to make the system work for all are the people called by names. Bad. Yeah, there you go again, Aaron Jackson. That's why it is. That's exactly what it is. But the people who come to give them the wrong information are the people they glorify. And that's why you see, I love about Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. There are times that I will hate Ellen Johnson Sirleaf's behavior of things he did, but there are times that I will take some of her characteristics to address the ignorance of our people. You see, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf protected her children, just how Ure is doing today, and took our fellow additional boys, gave them arm through the MPF and destroy our country. But then when peace came to the country, guess what Ellen did? She brought her son, her immediate family, then even a high school kid from Alaska to come and lecture us about the oil sector. And then we're there, yeah. So you see, when that kind of logic come from people like Ellen, and when I see my fellow Liberian behaving like this, I'm okay with that kind of idea. Because sometimes the politicians in the country, they know that our people are not willing to accept the truth. So they play into them. They play into them. Yes, that's what they do. They play into them. So let me see what the other brother wrote here. Randy, please don't ignore the teaching. Please don't. What he said? Please don't ignore the teaching of Liberian political history. I learned a lot from you. Can you have some history section? Yeah. I would just call you Jusu. Jusu, I'm an engineer by trade. All right, but I took interest in Liberian politics, and it's the personal goal journey that I decided to do. But I don't mind giving you guys more research because I'm very resourceful. I'm very researchful. I love research a lot. And most all the universities I went to are all research university, and they taught me how to do a lot of research. So when it comes to Liberian politics, I do a lot of research and stuff like that. But I take time sometimes to address the illiteracy that is really engulfing our country. And it's not only limited to the people back home. There are Liberians all around the world that exhibit some form of illiteracy, even though they live in better country. And I believe there are more Liberians who back home are more open to having better discussion. And I'm not going to write them off. There are some Liberians, just how you have some Liberians abroad, there are some Liberians back on the ground there too, who are very open-minded when it comes to discussing the issue. And I really admire them for that. But those that are in the group of just supporting a political party are the one that got problem. Let me see. I think I read this statement already. Yes, I think I read this. Let me go down. Let me go up the horn here. How to call it? Resistible demobile. Say, I agree with my dear, with you, my dear. Everything you discuss on the platform, I try to do the best. The last time Friday night, go by Friday night. Go back to my show on Friday night. I told you how I grew up in Liberia. I told you my story. In order for Jesus Christ to convince people who were ETS to believe in the Bible, he was born on the earth, he lived a life, he died, and he resurrected. He gave us the 4 different phases of life. So when you come and want to convince people, you have to be honest to yourself. And that's the honesty I'm looking for. That is the honesty I'm looking for. I told you guys that I'm reviewing the ANC document because they give it to me. They are asking me to be part of them. But I'm not just going to rush them because I want to rush them. Because I'm leaving an opportunity with the CDC because I made that commitment to the Liberian people. So if I'm getting into the ANC, I'm not going to go get in there let other people know. I want you to understand where I stand. I want you to be the one to vet what I'm about to do. So that way, when the mistake is made, we all can take the responsibility. Say, yeah, Randy, who told you to do that? Yeah, Randy, we take some percentage of the responsibility for what happened to you and likewise yourself. That is what we call a consensus decision because it's about politics. The reason people join political party is because the idea the political party has or have is an inclusion of other people who want to seek something better for themselves, right? So then why when they make a decision, they don't want everyone to know what's going on? So something is wrong and we must expose those things. Yes, we have to expose those things, folks. And that's what I'm here for. All right. So Amos is here. Let me see what brother Amos said. Amos said it is not about how many people watch it, but the logic or sense you learn. That's true. And if you go to school, Princeton University, Harvard, Yale, Temple, and you name all the schools, do you see thousands of people in the classroom? No. Do you see millions of people graduating every semester? No. Every classroom take a certain size and they educate them to go out there in the society. To many of you guys that work today, I'm a manager. But when I get to work, there are 250 people that I care for. But I'm just one person. And with the other managers, then, some of you guys are supervisors or Liberians. Y'all go to work. You're supervised people. But you're just one person, right? So think about somebody having a small size and giving logic. But I guess the applied logic become a challenge to really expand your mind because it's politics. Yes, it's what politics is. But I understand. Yes, the country is challenged. The country is very, very challenged. Yes. The country is very, very challenged. And I understand those things. All right. So let me see here. Going down the home here now. There's a lot here today, but I really enjoy you guys here today. Yes. I really enjoy you guys. Yes. Aside from my 5 people that watch me. And I'm glad. If they were going to be here to see 5 people watching me, they're going to be that. Damn. Who them 5 people watching this guy? But one, I think we'll reach today to 109. We reached 109 today, but the other guy came, also the 109. So he's like, oh, we didn't 109 for watching. What? Yeah, Liberians, damn it. Yeah, what I'll tell you. You see that woman up there? Let me get her picture for you guys. This is my mom right here, all right? Yigipa, when she and her husband was working at Lamco. This is my mom here, all right? You know what I'm going to tell her the day I die. And the day I die and I'm having to see her, yeah, what I'm going to tell her. If God ever create a new world and you go back and meet my father and you decide to have children, don't born me in Liberia. Whatever country you find yourself in, just ask the people whether it's Liberia and understand the society. Because the way our people think, I don't blame them for it. It is the way the country was set up from the beginning. It is the way. The so-called bicentennial they're celebrating today, those people did not come to establish a better system for us. The country is 147 years old. And look how far we have come, the high level of underdevelopment in our country. What does that tell you? 174 years old. The way we think, the way we do things. How long Samuel Canado left office now? Almost what, 40 years ago now? Just 40 years ago. I was a young man in Liberia. This picture was taken right after the war. But the very Liberia you go to today, things have changed. Let me tell you a personal story again today. Today. My sponsor that brought me to this country in 1987, he told me that Liberia will not be a better country anytime soon. I doubted him. I said, that's not true. He said the system will continue to ruin and derail the country. And that time, in 1987, I don't know whether you guys were born or not. Some of you guys know you were born. But for those of you who were not born in 1987, that's why he told me that Liberia was not going to be a better country. He said the country will exist. They will have leaders, they will have this, but he don't think the country will be on the path to compared to other countries. Today, since 1987, my daughter is in college now, trying to become a lawyer now. And she was born right in the country here. And today, I'm here talking. This Thanksgiving Day, he and his wife and family came to my house. It's gone Thanksgiving Day. He don't go on Facebook. And he said, oh, so you still talking about Liberian pioneer? I said, yes. And he said, all right. Keep on. I hope God will continue to give you the strength. And I asked him, I said, what do you make of the country today? He said, I can't tell you now. You should be the one not to tell me now. And do you think he's wrong? From what you know today, many of you guys who've been around for a long time, you see Ghana today making progress. You see Rwanda today making progress. The president of Niger is about to leave office, and the Mo Ibrahim award of $5 million have been given to him because they classify his leadership as putting the country in a progress pathway. But when you look at Liberia today, when you look at how our politicians and the people who support our political party, how we are so self-centered, and do you think they're going to go anywhere? So you, those all who live abroad will say, yeah, they're going to go somewhere. But if you are living there, as in you can just want to go there and spend 2 weeks there and come back, 1 month, 2 months and come back. How can you go to your own country and spend 2 months and run away and come back? Most of the Europeans, Americans, when they go visit, they run away and come right back to their country. But in Liberia, there's nothing that nowhere like home. Our nowhere like home is it's just like a phrase, but it's not a reality. When Liberia man tells you there's nowhere like home, it's a phrase that he's using. But when somebody else tells you that there's nowhere like home, it's a reality. It is a phrase for us Liberian because we can't go there to live there. because the condition will not give her the opportunity to learn them. But we wouldn't use it because other people want to use it. That's why it is. All right. Let me see what Amos wrote. He wrote something very important here. He said that people are baked into the old system. Yes. I love that word. I love that description. Bake. You know what I mean? I baked bread yesterday. Yes, I baked a bread for my kids yesterday evening. That is a very wonderful way. But we need to fight hard. We acknowledge the problem, and but we need to fight hard about that. I saw the budget, and the budget you posted, Randy, and I cried when I saw how much those guys are giving for agriculture. that was the makeup something that how they call it. But they don't get agriculture or anything. I think Ashton will speak to you about that. Musu Wuziat, good morning. I says, oh, it's after 10, guys. So time out. It just passed 10, 2 minutes past 10. So I would like to say thank you. I think the message that we wanted to send this morning, the message has been sent, and I will keep you guys up to date. So let me summarize what I said here today. You watched the video of the ANC trying to bond themselves together, a chemical bond, to come up with one compound product or a byproduct called what? Or a quack product, because there are 4 of them, right? So ALP, ANC, Unity Party, Liberty Party. So it's a quack project or quack project, and they came out with the by compound or the byproduct called the CPP, and they are accusing each other of documentation. So we are asking every one of them to provide to us, make available the sound copy, because honor our constitution, honor our law. We have the Freedom of Information Act that gave us the right to see documentation that will impact the life of our people and the generation to come. Secondly, these guys want to run for public office. They will not be paid by a private individual. They will be paid by the taxpayer, the Liberian people money. And they will also be hired by the Liberian people who go out there to vote for them. When people go online to vote for you in public service, they are your HR representative. They are the one going out there to hire you. So you work for them. And that's why when they demand any documentation, it's supposed to be for them, because the government is for the people and it's run by the servants. We got to get it straight. All right. Please do not lose. Let me see. Somebody said, please do not be lost in the cloud of deception. What is written on paper is not the issue. The issue is the behavior that are being exhibited and that contradicts. Yes, but they are two. All right, Hamilton, they are both intertwined. Yes. You can read a driving book and not go take the test. You see, one of the reasons why we keep having accidents in Liberia, you got people just teach people how to drive, but they don't teach them the theory. That is the guidelines. It's like you're playing football, but you don't understand the football rule. So what you're seeing here, it makes sense. But I will hold you that. I will hold you to the extent that they both have to coexist. The paper is the guidelines, and then the behavior, the guidelines will be checked against the behavior. Because the behavior is the practical aspect against the rule. Every game you play, anything you do, you must have a guidelines to it. So we cannot make one independent of the other. We got to make both of them dependent on each other, because it is an input and output that will determine a very system of process. Unless you don't want to believe in a system. If you want to make it a closed loop, that's fine. But in an open loop, it should be going and being checked both ways. Yes, that's how it works. So we will put percentage to it. So you wrote something very beautiful here, but I just want to tweak it a little bit to say that they both work together. Yes, they both work together. We got to hold both of them accountable. Yes. So, guys, thank you so much, and God bless you guys. And I'll see you guys again. All right. If the time permit tonight, we'll go through the Namdi Kanga. I mean, like I said, I want to suspend the whole thing right now. I don't know what would be your opinion as well. We can come and talk about other things here, but I would love to see how they call it. I would love to see Mr. Cummings. He's going on Spoon. You see, one thing about Spoon, Mr. Witherspoon is literally afraid of me. Yes, Mr. Witherspoon is afraid of me. All right, he lives right in Burlington. There, I'm in Pennsylvania. He's afraid because when I go on his show to make comments, he's intimidated by what I say. So he has limited me. But that still would not stop me from talking here because I know Mr. Witherspoon is a coward. All right, he's not a real CEO. I will let you guys know. The company he runs, he doesn't provide financial report. He is not transparent. He doesn't have a website where you go to see what he does. But we know how he's getting a financial source. It's just a matter of time. And when the time comes, we'll unleash what we have here. Yes, we'll unleash that. So, but I will be expecting those of you who go on the show, let Mr. Cummings provide that document is signed. Let him make it public because it's for you to review and see. Every document in this country is public privilege. It should be distributed. All right. So what I would do here is, I don't know what tonight when I come, I should go through. But we just decided to just go through this thing in here. Yes, we just decided to go through it. Did you see the chat room message from Costa? I see the chat room message. Costa himself got a problem too. Titi Nimle. Maybe you got a father Costa. You need to understand the characteristics of Costa. Costa does not have personal friends. Don't be surprised tomorrow when Costa says he's supporting George Weah because of you guys refusal to seek the truth. Costa has supported George Weah before. Costa has called Joe Boka a sleeper. Costa has insulted Boka so many times. Today he's supporting Boka. The only person Costa has never insulted. If you want to be Costa friend, stay in Brenda UA camp forever. But if you go to any other camp, Costa will insult you when the interest die off. Costa's relationship with people is like a season. Right now the Christmas is over now, right? People in America are around taking all their Christmas tree and all the decoration down. That's how he operates. He operates on things. He won't operate on things that he see interest in. Once that interest is gone, he's gone. But if you want to be Costa friend forever, be member of the ALP. Stick with you throughout. You'll be Costa friend. And just follow exactly what you say. But on any side, you can forget it. It's just a matter of time when he will flip. And that's who he is. All right? So let's see how the evening will go. We'll be back here. But we'll continue to challenge them. This platform will continue to challenge them all the time. All the time. All the time. All the time. Yes. Yeah, let me see what she said. She said this can cause problem for him in the US. Of course. Of course. Of course. He lost one of his credibility in the fact that he used to support Cummings, but when he started insulting Cummings, making all kind of false accusations against Cummings of things that he doesn't understand, Cummings went through in America here, he lost the support of the ANC people. And you know, it's one thing to be in the middle and challenge them, but it's another thing to be insulting people. That makes no sense. So that's why it is. So guys, when the time permits, we'll be back here this evening, all right, to have another round of conversation. It will not be on the platform here. Yes, I have this software available to my use. I only use it once in a while. Yes, once in a while, especially when I want to present things to you guys. So thank you to you guys. My big fire out there. Don't be jealous. Our number is going up. Let's be hopeful for that because we are making and giving sense out to our people here. Those who are supporting the opposition or the government, the day they take the stand on asking the government tough question, they will feed it. Yeah, Joseph Anderson says, so what do I miss? Joseph Anderson, you seem to have two faces. You are like this. Yes, Joseph Anderson, you are like this. That's how you are. I don't know which side you're on because 1 minute you showing your palm to us, 1 minute you showing your back to us. So you should be asking yourself, instead of saying, so what did I miss? Ask yourself, where should my commitment go? Because by the time Spoon Network come on, you always there. Then that tells me that you love political gossip, you love political entertainment, rather than loving political awareness to empower you, Joseph Anderson. You never miss Spoon. You're always there. You're always there. So, like I said, we all want to blame we are and say we are doing this, but we ourselves, we got a choice. So we make the choice. If we are want to bring up a salary harmonization that Samuel 12 follow, and we are did it, salary harmonization, but we talk about inequality. Lawmaker giving themselves more money and the people suffering. But the lawmaker and the government of George Weah, they made a choice to say, look, we'll keep the people there not to be equal to us, and we'll commit ourselves to it. Then we want to blame we are them. But you know your friend Randy got his show. You don't even follow him. But then when you come, what do I miss? But the Spoon man who, as soon as they come on, where you in the bathroom, put your pen on, you in the bathroom like this. I'm your friend, but I can't hide it. I can't lie to you. I gotta tell you the truth. You see how America taught our children not to lie? That is the behavior that old God let me got in me when it comes to dealing with Liberian people. You can be my friend, but I will tell you the truth. Because, like I said, we got trusted friends, we got dependable friends, and we just have social friends. You can take me to be whatever you want to take me based on my character and interaction with you. I will accept it. If I'm just your social friend, I will say you're my social friend. I set it straight for you so that way you can know. So that's why you miss your commitment, Joe, your commitment. Yes, your commitment. Thank you, brother. God bless you. And Mr. Samuel Bele, I end with the show right here. I take that blessing from Mr. Bele. I say no more. Bye. Thank you very much, Samuel. Bye to you guys.